Hello, my name is Enrique Rola Carrillo. I'm an Aspen University nursing student, and this is my video assignment for Module 6, Communications. So, the topic of choice is preparing for a job interview, and I'm going to talk about doing company research, choosing the right attire for an interview, and anticipating questions, because those are like three important ideas to consider before doing the actual interview. As we can see, preparing for any job interview can be nerve-wracking because we practically put the time and effort to build, build, build up a resume that fits the role that we're applying for, and we set up a schedule with an interview to land the job of our dreams. It might be, and it's smart to do uh, company research beforehand. So, like, we can do a research like what does a company sell, if it is a product or service, and understand practically what do they do for the customer, and what do they how do they feel as an employee offering that product or service. If the employer during the interview ask you like, what do you know about us and what do you think about our company, and you can give it some feedback as those different perspectives, they'll value that you put like time and effort to done research on what they actually do for inside the company for an employee and for a customer, and they're gonna feel make them feel like you're part of the team, that you're interested in the job position. Also, if you can understand more about the role you're applying for, like it wouldn't be a smart idea to apply for a position that they're gonna do certain tasks that you're not like prepared to deliver. So it's good to understand your day-to-day tasks. Maybe Google and research some other employees that are in the same role, and see understand their day-to-day activities, so you'll feel more confident when like applying for that role. And it's good to also understand the company's culture. What do they value? How do they communicate inside the company? If they're more laid back or they're very serious. And this way, you can you can give a like you can get an idea of how do how to use a certain tone of voice during, or if you need to be more formal, if you need to be more laid back, if there's some certain traits they're looking for in an employee before hiring for the company. Also, it's good to once you've done your research on those areas, you can get more or less an idea of your what kind of dress style you should show up with. Like um, if like what I mentioned before, if it's a more laid back or more serious company, you can understand like am I gonna show up with maybe some khaki pants and a t-shirt, or am I gonna be more casual or formal? Um, and it's good to always choose something that makes you feel comfortable and confident, because you wouldn't if you wear something that makes you feel uncomfortable. I think it's gonna show up during the interview process, and some that's kind of like non-verbal communication that might show up during when that's happening. We don't like that. Also, make sure to not wear anything distracting, because you want the interviewer to pay attention to your answers and not practically like what you're wearing, and yeah, yeah, it's gonna make it's gonna it might distract the interviewer, in and also, well, it's important because based on your first appearance, they're gonna be making a judgment on the personality traits of you as a person. Um, and oh yeah, and also make sure to like dress dress as nicer or typical as a regular employee in that company, because you wouldn't want to be like if you see everybody with a suit and you show up with a t-shirt and pants. I mean, that's not gonna like give a great impression for your first job interview. So we want to like to be as nice if we can be as better than the regular employee inside the company. And the anticipated questions, well, we can't actually like predict what kind of questions they're gonna ask us during the interview, but we can get like a general idea of the common ones, like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and practically most employers will ask questions regarding like major life decisions, because they will get some sort of like feedback from how does you as an individual deal with like when you have to do major life when you have to make major life decisions. How do you deal with this? What's your thought process? And and what do you do to like get through them? So, and it's good to like if during an interview you and you gotta think of as interviewer's perspective, because it's good to think like they're looking for a candidate to fill the role they're trying to fill, and they want to look good for their boss. So it's always to like understand um their point, like what are they gonna think about me if I answer this, or how am I gonna be perceived while my interview is going through. And think and and one of the well, if you're gonna be anticipating questions, of course they're gonna ask about your skills. If you use any a certain tool that's required to fill the role, so you gotta have like a basic of if you can understanding of the tools they're you're gonna use during your day-to-day tasks, and they want to be sure that you can do the list at least the you have at least the minimum experience to cover for the role. So yeah, that's why they interview you for. And lastly, it's smart to like work on an elevator pitch, something that's like from 30 to 60 seconds that talks about like what are your goals, what do your what are your um, who you are, practically what you want, what you do, and this basically is with the purpose to sell yourself and give a great first impression, so they can get like a general idea of who you are as a person. If it's like a great elevator pitch, the interview can start like very great. And yeah, that's basically it for my tips on preparing for any job interview. Thank you.